I got to talk before we leave you. I got to talk about Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby, man, he's back in the news. I guess you mentioned him earlier with Batman having that sexual exploits, and you talked about Bill Cosby.
I didn't realize that it was like the thing back in the day to be all like that.
Well, look, Bill took it to an extreme. Look, I grew up in I was a teenager, late 70s, 80s and all, but I can tell you this. It did happen. I can tell you firsthand, I know what Roar 714s are, okay? They used to call them Quaaludes. And then they went to Roar 714s, and they quit making them because they were used as a getting high. Kids would get high, kids would smoke them, kids would take them, and then they found out that they were too strong, so they eliminated them, and then they were making them where? Mexico! Let's make them in Mexico. So they made them in Mexico, and they got them bootlegged in, and the people were taking them, and girls were taking them, and guys were taking them, and I never took one. I took a half of one time because I thought it was cool because I was an idiot, just because I thought it might be cool, till I found myself laying in the middle of the grass in the ballpark, and it was raining on my face, and I woke up and went home. I said, I'll never do that crap again. So it rained on me. I'm glad it was the only other guy that rained on my face. Because I was knocked out. I was like, oh my God, had a beer and half of that, and I was like, I was out like lightning, man. You could have castrated me, I wouldn't have known. So anyhow, that's what there's. But in the day, that's what you did. You went out. He's right. I mean, I'm not saying what he did was right, if he did it, and he admitted he did it. But in that nature of that era, that's what kids did. That's what they did. Just like Sylvia and all the other stuff they're taking now, and all the other drugs they're taking now. Back in the day, that's what people did. They took it. They had a drink. They got muffed up. They got crazy. They got jiggy. They got naked. They didn't wake up until it was too late, and then it was in the morning, and then you went home and you had a party foul. You were like, oh, should have never done that. And so that's what it was. And he's right. That was the culture back in the day. And I'm not saying what he did was right. God knows the girl, if you saw her, whew,
I'm glad you brought that up.
Man, I mean, if it would have been like, Miss USA or somebody that was unattainable, I would have thought, well, no wonder, she would have never gone with him. But this girl, and I'm just saying, she was something else, man. I didn't know whether she was a boy or a girl when I saw her on TV. Like Tripod said, he could have gone out and called a hooker service and got something better than that. So, I'm not saying, I'm sure I'll get some flack for saying that, but she's not exactly a keeper, okay? And so he had one witness out of all the people that came out and talked about him doing all kind of things and getting drunk and taking lewds and getting crazy. He had one witness that came up. Now, I know the guy's a millionaire, but dude, you got to have more than one witness. I mean, Roland Polanski, even that this week, Roland Polanski had his girl that he sodomized when he was 13. She was 13 years old when he was back in the day, getting crazy again back in the day, and he sodomized her. And then now he's never been able to come back to the U.S. He moved to France. And if you can do the research on Roman Polanski, he was the girl came back and actually this week said, hey, just drop the charges. Just drop them. It's been 40 years. What really bothered me was she said the moment wasn't that traumatic after all. After all that was said, after all the suing, and I think he paid her $500,000 already. But after everything that Roman Polanski went through, she turns around and says it's not that traumatic.